Our friends and colleagues, good afternoon, and it is my great pleasure to welcome you to this wonderful occasion when we can actually see each other in person and not on a screen through Zoom. That's worth applauding and celebrating in its own right, I think, as well. Well, today we officially dedicate the Student Activities and Events Centre, which of course is going to be a vital new addition to the IU Kokomo campus, and it will be a very important resource both for the campus and for the surrounding community. This wonderful facility, which we were originally scheduling to open almost a year ago, measures more than 26,000 square feet and is aimed at and orientated to promoting student success by housing programs in physical education, athletics, student activities, and special events. As I look out in the audience, I'm delighted to see so many friends of Indiana University who are here today, and it is a great pleasure to welcome two members of the Board of Trustees of Indiana University, and I ask them to stand as I call their names, and if you could please hold your applause until both are standing. With us this afternoon are Molly C. Koerner of Indianapolis, our student trustee, and Donna B. Spears of Richmond. Please join me in welcoming our trustees. And also with us today are key representatives of the planning, design, and construction teams of the project. And joining us are IU Vice President for Capital Planning and Facilities, Thomas A. Morrison, and a number of other members of the planning, design, and construction teams who have been able to attend this afternoon. So Tom, if you could stand for our greeting as well, and your staff as well. Thank you very much. And finally, we also have with us Executive Vice President for University Academic Affairs, John Applegate, and please join me in welcoming John as well. Well, as we dedicate this wonderful new Student Activities and Events Centre here at IU Kokomo, we celebrate a facility that is part of Indiana University's continuing efforts to provide all of its students with environments that build community. When we broke ground for this building in 2018, I noted that the centre is actually at least a dozen facilities in one. It is, of course, as is obvious, a gym, but it will also serve and has served as a resource centre, a commons, a classroom, a training centre, a proving ground, a lounge, and much, much more. And as a classroom, it has played a major role in the teaching activities of the campus during the COVID pandemic. And this very much needed and very welcome centre will further strengthen the already vigorous spirit of the community, of scholarship and of fellowship at IU Kokomo. 1 week ago, I delivered my 14th and final State of the University address as President of Indiana University. In it, I spoke about the vital importance of IU's regional campuses and their transformation over the last 14 years from important but in many ways underappreciated, undervalued and underutilized resources to the campuses they are now, which are much more closely connected with the broader university and also with each other. Today, IU's regional campuses are invaluable community resources that serve a broad spectrum of students, and they are increasingly a first choice for some of the most academically qualified high school students in Indiana. And in almost all cases, the regional campuses are also among the largest employers in their home regions, and they serve as invaluable catalysts for economic and community development. And nowhere is that more true than right here at IU Kokomo, as we underscored at this morning's commencement ceremony, where we celebrated the largest class, the graduating class, in the history of the campus. And the vast majority of today's graduates, 95% in fact, are Indiana residents, which reflects the fact that IU Kokomo and the other regional campuses are at the very forefront of the state's commitment to increasing the number of Hoosiers holding baccalaureate and postgraduate degrees. In my State of the University address last week, I also spoke about the physical facilities and infrastructure that are necessary for a great university to sustain its missions at the highest level. As part of this, I noted that several much-needed buildings and renovations to support both academic priorities and campus life have been carried out recently on IU's regional campuses, including this splendid facility that we dedicate today. Because Indiana University exists to benefit all the people of the state and the world beyond, it also has a charge to continue its long traditions of engagement in the economic, social, environmental, and cultural life of all Hoosiers. And this engagement is a central mission of the regional campuses. In addition to the benefits it brings to IU Kokomo students, the Student Activities and Events Centre will further strengthen the bonds between the IU Kokomo campus and the broader community. I also noted in my State of the University address last week that private philanthropy is one of the great pillars of the American system of higher education, making this system the greatest in the world. The unprecedented philanthropic support for IU Kokomo and IU's other regional campuses in the recently completed bicentennial campaign is proof of the widespread appreciation of the revitalization of our regional campuses. And the wonderful and impressive levels of support that we have seen for the construction of this building is a measure of the level of pride that community members take in the IU Kokomo campus and in its many successes. I know that many of you are here today generously contributed to the capital campaign to help fund the building's construction. All of us at Indiana University are deeply grateful for your support. In particular, I want to express our thanks to Bill Hunt, from whom we'll hear a little bit later, who generously gave $500,000 in support of the centre. The City of Kokomo and the Solidarity Community Federal Credit Union for their generous gifts of $250,000, and the Community Foundation of Howard County for their generous matching gift of $100,000. I also want to thank the government of Howard County for their gift of $75,000 in support of the centre, and Bob and Angie Nowling and Randy and Esther Fishman for their generous gifts of $50,000 each. So maybe you could join me in expressing our thanks to all of these generous donors and all the others who have contributed to the Student Activities and Events Centre with a round of applause too, please. With today's dedication, IU now has student recreation and event centres on all of its regional campuses around the state. The IU Kokomo Student Activities and Events Centre joins the IU Southeast Activities Building, which since 1979 has been home to the campus gym and fitness centre, the Savannah Centre at IU Northwest, which opened in 2000, the Student Activities Centre at IU South Bend, which opened in 2004, and the IU East Student Events and Activities Centre, which I had the honour of dedicating in 2016. The splendid new building that we dedicate today not only enhances the vitality and functionality of this campus for its community, but it will also keep the Kokomo campus, it will also help the Kokomo campus continue to attract and retain outstanding students and provide them with numerous wonderful opportunities for engagement and leadership. And as a venue for IU Kokomo athletics, the Student Activities and Events Centre will provide a sense of excitement and pride for the extended university community. Participation in athletics gives student athletes the opportunity to practice overcoming challenges and struggles in the highly constrained and limited environment of a specific sport, so that when they are faced with real-world challenges, they are well prepared to overcome these obstacles as well. The programming related to health, wellness, physical education and recreation offered in the centre will also make important contributions to the improvement of health and welfare, health and wellness on the whole campus. And as we return to in-person instruction in the fall, the centre will also serve IU Kokomo students as a venue for student meetings and a wide variety of campus events, as well as conferences, workshops and co-curricular activities that help students prepare themselves to succeed in the many roles that they will undertake in the future. So on behalf of the entire Indiana University community, I extend our most sincere thanks to all those who helped to make this marvellous addition to the campus possible. It really is a superb building. Under the excellent leadership of Chancellor Susan Sciame-Giesecke, IU Kokomo has experienced great success in recent years, with an increasingly diverse and academically qualified student body and a record number of graduates, as we have seen this year. So for many years to come, the Student Activities and Events Centre will represent the spirit of exploration and adventure that is the heart of the very best education. And as we dedicate the splendid new centre, we also celebrate the faculty, staff, alumni and friends who have helped to make it possible, and the many students who will bring life to the structure and have already begun to bring life to the structure long into the future. With that, thank you very much, and let me welcome to the podium Susan Sciame-Giesecke, the Chancellor of Indiana University, Kokomo. Please join me in welcoming her.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. President McRobbie, First Lady McRobbie, trustees, faculty, staff, students, friends, donors. I think we have Senator Jim Buck. Is he here today? Yes, thank you for coming. Mayor Tyler Moore, is our mayor here today? Commissioner Paul Wyman, I know I saw you come in. Thank you all for your local support of this particular campus, and thank you everyone for joining us on this day of celebrations. Graduation was fantastic outside, the weather was great, and all the students got to celebrate this wonderful event, even in a pandemic. The Student Activities and Events Center is the first building on the IU Kokomo campus since Hunt Hall was built well over 20 years ago. So this truly is something to celebrate. I want to personally thank some of our local folks who played a large role in the design and the building. First of all, Facilities Director John Sarber, who marshaled this building, Athletic Director Greg Cooper, who helped us with all of the design for athletics, Vice Chancellor of Advancement Jan Halprin, who continued to keep pounding away that it was an event center too, and the mural was part of her. And then our former Vice Chancellor of Student Affairs, Todd Gamble, who put in a lot of hours too in designing and dedicating this building. In my mind, this is one of the most significant buildings on this campus and for the Kokomo community because it represents one of our core values on this campus, and that is community. The juice of this campus, or like we like to call it, Kokomojo, is our commitment to a caring community that is dedicated to collaboration and innovation. It is this commitment that has truly defined our success. For the past 10 years, we have added a state-of-the-art fitness center, the Cole Family Fitness Center. We've transformed the main building with a $14 million renovation, thanks to our state legislators. We have completed a $1 million redesign of the library into an inviting learning commons. We've added a new advising center, an outdoor courtyard, a new coffee shop, new places for students to gather. But we've always been missing a large space to gather as a community, and now we have that space. We have a place for celebrations, for dinners, for athletic banquets, for concerts, for speakers, and athletic competitions. Again, I want to thank, as did President McRobbie, all the donors that are with us today. Your generosity will impact our campus for years to come. In my mind, the campus is now complete. It's ready for the 21st century. As you know, IU just completed its bicentennial celebration, and the IU Kokomo campus celebrated its 75th anniversary at the same time. The addition of the mural in this building is an added bonus. As we brainstormed a way to celebrate and mark our 75th anniversary, we were very grateful to the bicentennial grant that supported the creation of this beautiful mural. You will hear from the muralist soon, and I know that you will agree that it adds another dimension to our sense of community by telling the story of our 75-year history. You know, as I was looking for a quote about community, kind of trying to reinstill that value that we have, I read quite a few different quotes, and I'm going to take some liberty and put together a few things. The minute we become an integrated whole, the minute we become a community, we then begin to look through the same eyes, and that is when we realize a whole different future together. So thank you again, for everyone, for joining us today. Thank you for celebrating with us graduation, but more importantly, this wonderful new building that I know will bring us all together in a variety of different ways, both here on campus and in our community. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chancellor. Now, our next speakers will discuss some of the exciting and special aspects of this new Student Activities and Events Centre, from its the aesthetics and its educational value to the importance of IU Kokomo's athletics program. Make sure I don't miss a page. First, we'll hear from Michael Koerner, Associate Professor of New Media at IU Kokomo. And Professor Koerner is the creator of the dramatic and beautiful mural located on the wall behind you, above the red bleachers at the end of the room here, which was commissioned, as the Chancellor just described, to enhance the space. And his artwork has been exhibited extensively, both nationally and internationally, and notably, 2 of his paintings have been acquired by the United Kingdom's National Collection. Then we'll hear from Jaela Meister. Ms. Meister is a junior from Bourbon, Indiana, what am I saying, who plays forward and guard on the women's basketball team. And each will speak without further introduction, so please welcome first to the podium Professor Koerner.
Thank you, President McRobbie, and good afternoon. Let me begin by expressing my sincere gratitude for the opportunity to undertake this painting, Our Story. The gravity of the honor to depict Indiana University Kokomo's heritage and the realization that my interpretation will itself, in time, become a contribution to this narrative of heritage does not escape me. I would like to personally thank Chancellor Susan Sciame-Giesecke, Vice Chancellor of Academic Advancement Jan Halpern, Director of Physical Facilities John Sarber and his team, Vice Chancellor for Finance Jared Heyman, Assistant Curator Katie Chatton, all members of the Juring Committee, IU's Office of the Bicentennial, all donors, representatives of the Miami Tribe, faculty colleagues who shared their student travel experiences and resources, and my on-site team, Wendy Koerner, and our sons Benjamin and Elliot. The term monumental has certainly taken on a whole new meaning for us as we lived with this work in our home for over half a year. This is our story, the journey we are collectively taking as a university within this community, leading up to the formation of our campus through the past 75 years and beyond. Our story, where clusters of stormy cloud formations demonstrate the passage through difficult times, removal of indigenous people from their lands, the blood spilled, and the sacrifices made during World War II. Our story, rising from adversity onto a backdrop of clear crimson sky, Indiana University's vision, scope, and record of commitment to educational growth, engagement, and opportunity emerged as a campus here in 1965. This is where our students' educational foundation is set, but our reach extends far beyond these walls. New York, Chicago, Germany, Turkey, Colombia, Italy, Guatemala, Holland, China, and the United Kingdom are just a taste of where IU Kokomo leaves an impression. Indiana University Kokomo is on the map. Studying through travel opportunities with their faculty is just one of the many substantive ways that students can engage and have meaningful, transferable growth. Athletics and their wonderful new home here at the Activities and Events Center, internships, community-based partnerships, theatrical productions, exhibitions, and research opportunities are all encouraged and supported. Because our story is one of building a culture that is fused with diversity, inclusiveness, creativity, critical thinking, research, fact, empathy, and care. It is told through experiential learning, active learning, service learning, and high-impact practices that serve as a key to unlocking potential. The energy and passion that is generated on our campus and how that radiates, circulates, and manifests itself through individual students, faculty, and staff, now and in the future, is our story. So pause, take a deep breath, look out into the sky as you did when you were a child, and dream. How will the transformative educational experience at Indiana University Kokomo allow you to soar? Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. As President McRobbie mentioned, my name is Jaela Meister, and I am a junior here at IU Kokomo. As a member of the women's basketball team, I can speak honestly about how this facility has impacted our program in many great ways. Although spectator rules were different due to COVID, having a larger gym allowed us more fans and to safely practice social distancing. Other departments across campus have been able to use this facility as an event space, hosting VIP days, orientations, and a meeting space to host the incumbent president of IU. One of my personal favorites was Music Monday, hosted by the Black Student Center, which allowed us to decompress by creating art while a DJ played our favorite songs. Another great feature of the gym is the drop-down divider that allows multiple events to be going on in the facility at once. It really allows for us to optimize the space. There is also a classroom that we can use for team study tables each week, and I'm sure will be used for film sessions here soon as well. I am so grateful to have given the opportunity to speak on behalf of all of our student athletes to dedicate the Student Events and Activities Center. I cannot wait until we are able to fill this gym up with hundreds of students and staff while also competing in front of our friends and families. I hope to be able to raise another banner to represent this university and to show how thankful I am to have witnessed the building of our new facility and play in it. Thank you.
Well, thank you both very much for those wonderful words from people who deeply understand what has gone into the gym and its importance in the future. Our next two speakers are very prominent supporters of this marvelous addition to the campus landscape. First, we'll hear from Melissa Domingues, the President and Chief Executive Officer of the Solidarity Community Federal Credit Union, and she also serves on IU Kokomo's Board of Advisors. Ms. Domingues will be followed by Bill Hunt, a legendary philanthropist, alumnus of Indiana University, and a member of the distinguished Hunt family, who have been founding leaders of the IU Kokomo community. Mr. Hunt's generosity to the university and this campus have been record-breaking and transformative. He is a recipient of an IU Honorary Doctor of Humane Letters degree, which I was privileged to confer on him in 2011, and he received a bicentennial medal during last year's celebration of IU's 200th anniversary. Among his many areas of involvement with IU Kokomo, he serves on the campus's Board of Advisors and has for many, many years. So each will now speak without further introduction, so please welcome Ms. Domingues to the podium.
Good afternoon. I'm shorter than everybody, I guess. So this is such a special day today to celebrate this stunning Students, Activities, and Event Center. When we first began talking with IU Kokomo about supporting the center, our board of directors was quickly committed to helping with this success. IU Kokomo is such an extremely important part of this community, and Solidarity Community Federal Credit Union has been a proud partner since 2008, so 13 years. We have similar values and philosophies, so we believe it is an absolute perfect match. It has been such an honor and a privilege to watch IU Kokomo grow and continue to offer expanded classes and services to its students and the community. Although I was not in Kokomo in 2008, I started working here August 8th, 2016. It was, of course, August 24th, 2016, when we had the tornadoes run through our city. As somebody from the Gulf Coast, I have unfortunately been through many hurricanes, but never tornadoes. As chance would have it, I was here on campus that day with our Vice President of Marketing, talking about the credit union to faculty, staff, and students. It was also a day that IU Kokomo was having a blood drive. So when the sirens started alerting everybody and everything was happening so quickly, everybody on campus just kind of knew what to do to keep us all safe. I was the one panicking. So after spending some additional time on campus, after that was my welcome to the campus and being sheltered in place for several hours on that day, getting the chance to meet Chancellor Sciame-Giesecke and Vice Chancellor Halperin and other faculty, staff, and students, it became very clear to me why Solidarity had formed such a great partnership with IU Kokomo. Like I said, clearly a perfect match. So the first credit union was actually chartered in 1909 with the philosophy of people helping people. IU Kokomo was established in 1945 and has recently completed a capital campaign known as For All. Solidarity Community Federal Credit Union was chartered in 1954, and our top 3 core values are integrity, respect, and communities. There's definitely a common theme here. Again, a perfect match. 2 core values that we actually added last year were diversity and equality, and each is so important to us. We believe it's more than just words, though, which is why we are so excited to see IU Kokomo open its multicultural center here on campus. As the college's website says, learning from people with different backgrounds, values, and perspectives enriches the student experience and benefits everyone involved. We wholeheartedly agree it does benefit everyone involved. Again, I keep going back to perfect match. Before I conclude my remarks, I would like to take this opportunity to thank all essential workers, which of course includes college faculty and staff, our own credit union employees, among many others. 2020 was obviously an odd year, and I'll say that as a big understatement. I received a cute holiday card in the mail. It had a picture of a dog with some sunglasses, and it said, "Peace out 2020." And I would say that I could not agree with that more, which makes it even more amazing what IU Kokomo was able to accomplish last year with its students and, of course, this wonderful building. So from our board, our supervisory committee, and all of our employees, we thank IU Kokomo for its continued support and partnership, and are so excited to be here at this dedication today. We look forward to many more years of continued success. Thank you all.
First of all, thanks to Dawn for sanitizing the podium after each speaker. Kind of a thankless job, but thank you. 75 years ago, last September, the Hunt family moved from Silver Spring, Maryland to Kokomo, Indiana. And the story is kind of legendary. My dad arrived 2 weeks before the first classes were offered, and in that 2 weeks recruited a faculty and a student body. Now the faculty was a handful, and the student body was, I think, less than 100 the very first the first year. I celebrated my first birthday shortly after the arrival in Kokomo. When I look at the wonderful artwork, I'm so glad that you have included Cyberling, because IU Kokomo was Cyberling to me all the time we lived here until my 11th birthday. And I have many memories of Cyberling, and some evenings my mother would suggest to my father that I go to Cyberling with him for a while, because we lived about 2 minutes away. And I got the run of the place and got a chance to see student life on a college campus in an old mansion, which I think totaled 4 classrooms in 2 buildings, 3 buildings. I don't want to shortchange it. The social center, the student center at that time, was the soft drink machine. Literally, the students would arrive, they'd go to one class for an hour and a half or an hour and 45 minutes. They'd have a 15-minute break. They'd get a soft drink. They'd go to the next class, or sometimes they only took one class. There was no student life. But I know that everybody who participated then was very thankful that they had the opportunity to get an education. Of course, this is right at the end of World War II. When I next returned to this campus, it was many years after, for some event that I came up with my father, and the Kelly Student Center had been completed, and that was the first time there was really a student building, a building focused on students other than a classroom building. And with the addition of the Cole Fitness Center and now this fantastic facility, as Sue said, the footprint's kind of complete. And I think we've touched all the bases that are necessary to create a really vibrant academic community. So thanks to everyone, including the university and the state legislature and other donors, for making these dreams possible. My philanthropy with respect to IU has, after the Hunt Hall contribution, has been focused on scholarships. And the reason that I focused on scholarships was the fact that my dad got a $100 per semester scholarship as his high school valedictorian from a small high school in southern Indiana, and got to go to Bloomington. So his scholarship was critical to my ability to move forward. And then when I went to law school, I received a full scholarship and realized how important that funding is to student success and success in life. So when we started talking about this facility, Chancellor Sue and Jan, I should point out, she retires in 2 days, and she's done a wonderful job here. So Jan, best of luck in retirement. But they approached me about donating to this building, and I said, well, you know, I've always just done scholarships and paying back. And Sue said, well, this is for all the students. She's a pretty good salesperson. She said, this is something that will benefit all the students, not just a handful. And I was quickly persuaded by 2 very persuasive ladies. And I'm happy to have participated in this becoming a reality. So with that, I would just add to what everyone else has said, that this is a wonderful day for IU Kokomo and a wonderful day for the IU Kokomo community. I'm so happy to see all the community support that has existed for this project. I'm going to take just a minute to say thanks beyond Chancellor Sue and Jan. As most of you know, President McRobbie will be retiring June 30th, and I've worked with him through my role on the IU Foundation Board and others, relationships with him for over 14 years, I suppose. And I just want to say that it's really been remarkable all he has accomplished in those years, not just in building fantastic facilities on all the campuses, but in really working on the academic infrastructure and organization of each campus, and we applaud him for that. But many people will laud him over the next few weeks, but his greatest accomplishment was actually convincing Lori Burns to move from Ann Arbor to Bloomington and become our First Lady, where she has, they used to say, behind every great man, there's a great woman. Well, behind every great man, there isn't a woman named Lori Burns. She's right next to him. So they've been equal partners in making this university all that it has become over the last 14 years, and we owe them a great debt of gratitude. One final comment about President McRobbie. At commencement 6 or 7 years ago at the Automotive Hall of Fame, very appropriate for Kokomo, in his comments to the graduates, he referred to the fact that he was a first-generation college graduate in his family. When I attend commencement, I sit in the audience rather than on the stage, and the people behind me commented on that and thought that was really quite special because their child was the first in their family. So his commitment to educational opportunity throughout the state has been unsurpassed, and we thank him for that and many other things. With that, thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Melissa, and thank you, Bill, for firstly for your support for this facility, for this campus, and for those very kind words about my period as president and Laurie's period as First Lady of Indiana University. Really greatly appreciate it for all the years we've worked together, which do go back probably almost 24 years, because I think I first met you in the first year or two that I actually came to IU when you were serving as a special advisor to Miles Brand way back then. Well, now we come to the central moment of this occasion, which is the dedication of the IU Kokomo Student Activities and Events Centre. And I asked Trustee Spears to join me on the podium, and Vice President Morrison, if you could join us as well.
Mr. President, the trustees of Indiana University take great pride and feel deep gratitude in presenting to you this symbolic key for the IU Kokomo Student Activities and Events Center. May this beautiful new building open up a world of possibilities for our students and for everyone who is served by the Kokomo campus.
Thank you very much, Trustee Spears. Now, will everybody who is able please stand? Friends and colleagues, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the trustees of Indiana University, it is an honor to officially dedicate the Indiana University Kokomo Student Activities and Events Center. I commend it as a vital resource for IU Kokomo and the communities that it serves. And so may all who come to this new centre to learn, to teach, to work, to play and to serve appreciate its enormous value to the future of this campus and to the university more generally. So please join me in celebrating the dedication of the IU Kokomo Student Activities and Events Centre with a hearty round of applause. Thank you, and please be seated. Well, I'd like to thank everybody who's joined us to celebrate this much delayed dedication, but I'm delighted that we were able to get it done. And I would especially like to thank the members of the dedication committee who worked behind the scenes on today's event. And I hope that you'll stop for refreshments after we conclude, and there are staff members available to guide the way as well. So once again, most grateful thanks of the university and the campus to all in this room who have supported this facility in multiple different ways. And thank you all so much for being here this afternoon. Good afternoon.